since this is a tribute concert to Freddie, I guess I would say they're helping him go knocking on heaven's door. Hi everyone, welcome back to this extra special weekend with a third look at the song Knockin' on Heaven's Door, and today it is Guns N' Roses. Released as the second single from the album, it reached number 2 on the UK singles chart and the New Zealand singles chart. Elsewhere, the single topped the charts of Portugal, Belgium, and the Netherlands. It was the best-selling song of 1992 in the latter country. In Ireland, where the song also reached number 1, it became Guns N' Roses' third, and to date last, number 1 single, as well as their 9th consecutive top 5 hit. So, this one also became kind of a big hit, and a bit later than the first two I've listened to. Well, I don't know, actually. I said a special weekend. What if, I don't know how the schedule is going to be released. What if Vlad releases this on a Monday? Does that mean you get a long weekend? Okay, yet another completely different handling of this piece. Oh, how do I feel about this one? Well, I'm barely into it, but somehow I already start to build an idea in my mind as they're getting through this chorus. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. It almost feels like they are desperately knocking and trying to get themselves in because they're there and it just won't open for them. And the other thing that really stands out to me also kind of looking back to the other versions I've listened to this weekend, each of the singers handles the music so differently. Here it's Axl Rose, and unlike Bob Dylan, who had a very easy, natural feel with his voice, or like the last one I listened to with Eric Clapton, where I was saying it sounded like he's crying and he's so sad and mournful. Now Axl is taking this and he's doing all kinds of things with his voice. He's taking it, but the thing that strikes me most is every time he goes, ooh, and just really gives it that ooh, and it's like it's an effort, and it's a struggle, and there's some distress in it, and here where we hear his more direct voice,
I can't shoot them
but behind
anymore. That cold black cloud is coming down. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
I'm knock, knocking.
Hey, hey, yeah. Knock, knock, knocking
Hey,
on
everybody
heaven's
there?
door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
He does so much with his voice.
Knock, knocking on heaven's door.
He tells a story just with his voice. And I'm also noticing okay, hold on a second, because something different is coming there. But I was just wanting to say that also this version is heavily influenced by the guitar and what's being done in the guitar. Drums as well, as I said, it sounds like we're really knocking on heaven's door, and they give a whole rhythmic feel to it. But the guitar stands out to me as kind of doing the same thing that Axl Rose is doing with his voice, Slash is doing with the guitar. He's coloring and shaping and giving it emotion through what he does and how he shifts and changes and adjusts the tone and all of that. So that is something that, I mean, this was just his solo moment, but even before, you know, when in the verse, I have no clue what's coming up. It seems like they've added something of their own here. Let's see what it is. You hear the phone beeping?
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Hey, 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 yeah.
So what was that now? Hold on. I guess I have something written here.
Knock, knocking on heaven.
And it wouldn't be luck if you could get out of life alive. Okay, so yeah, really. They're like, doors closed, man. Knock, 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 knock. Doors closed. Good luck.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Hey, 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 yeah.
Hey.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. 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 Knock, knock, knocking on
being used in this version. Here comes the current that's roaring, and the drum, and the chorus, and the piano. Well, that final portion where the knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door chorus was repeating over and over and over, it really started to sound more like a celebration. There was some sort of enjoyment and excitement and happiness about it. I guess I would say that the way that Guns N' Roses are handling this piece, it becomes less of a straightforward story. It's no longer a portrait. It's no longer simply rooted in a specific, simple event or location. It becomes an exploration of all the different angles from which we could come knocking at heaven's door. And the verses, okay. When we get to the verses, we are immersed in what is being expressed there, and it's dramatic and it pulls you along. But by the time we're at the end, it's almost like the verses don't matter anymore. It's all about knocking at heaven's door, and all the different ways we've come knocking at heaven's door along the way, and then that ending, kind of sudden, abrupt, like, yeah, but we're not there yet. And that's how they leave it. So here again, a band, an artist, a group has taken a simple little piece of music, completely made it their own. And the thing that I love most about this weekend, exploring this particular song, is noticing how comfortably each artist, each band, took the piece and made it feel like it belonged to them. I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed hearing their perspectives on the piece, their view of it. Is it a story? If it's a story, is it about, if it's about a particular event, person? Is it something where we are simply hearing his perspective? Or are we hearing his emotions, his feelings? Or are we just exploring this whole concept of what does it mean to go knocking on heaven's door? And where could that take us? And what could we do with it? And all of those, each one did such a great job. It's so enjoyable. And
which one do you like best?
Oh, that's hard. I guess
Come on.
I won't say which one I like best, but I will say, don't despair, I will say which one I expect myself to choose to listen to more frequently, and that would probably be
Guns N'
Bob
Roses.
Dylan. Guns N' Roses is great. I don't imagine myself really listening to it on repeat a lot. I could imagine myself listening to Bob Dylan's version on repeat, actually. Which is funny because I've never really felt myself drawn towards any of the pieces that I've heard him so far and say I could listen to that on repeat. But this is one that I could. I felt like what he did with it was so incredibly special and so well suited. So there we go. Beginning to get a little more friendly towards Bob Dylan myself. So it's been an incredibly fun and rewarding weekend of exploring this piece of music, and I look forward to whatever comes next. I'll be seeing you soon.